region. But welcome everybody to, this is the third meeting, Lisa,
Yes, it is.
of our St. Louis Region Childhood Leadership Task Force.
St.
Um,
Louis Region Childhood Community Leaders Task Force.
Yes, you are here and you are part of an amazing group of early childhood champions in the St. Louis region. So thanks for coming again. And we are recording for those that couldn't make it live. And of course, Lisa and I host these meetings as your community leaders for the St. Louis area. But we have a new face joining us, Leah Moser. There she is, waving. And so I just wanted to give you a brief introduction to Leah, who is joining the community leaders in this region. She is a colleague of mine at UMSL's Community Innovation and Action Center. And just give you a brief bio of her background. If you haven't been in a meeting with Leah before, it sounds like she's been in this um, arena for a while, but she provides strategic support and planning for SEAC, or UMSL's Center for Innovation and Action, around project development, including, of course, the MOSICA Early Childhood Initiative, and develops internal systems across projects, governance, and center operations. She previously served as the Director of Planning and Partnership at Generate Health. So that's where you might have seen her before. Generate Health is a St. Louis-based maternal health coalition focused on eliminating racial disparities in birth outcomes. Leah has her master's degree in public health, is a certified health education specialist who's earned certificates in health services management and creative leadership, and her interests are in multi-sector collaborations and place-based strategies to build strength with communities. You're in the best place possible, Leah, and we're so glad that you're able to join Lisa and I in this endeavor. So welcome.
Thank you so much. I'm glad to see faces that I know here and excited to meet some new faces.
Perfect. And whereas we want to get your voices in the room, and so there's 23 additional people with us today. So we're going to get started with introductions, and I'm just going to ask for a volunteer to go first, and then just pass it to somebody who might not have gone yet. Um, Tell us your name, what organization you're with, and perhaps you have a theme song that you like played when you come to meetings like this. I'm not going to play it, but maybe you have a theme song. So who wants to go first? Larry, you
I'll go
unmuted.
first. Oh,
Okay, Donna,
Okay,
go.
I'll go first.
Larry, and then Donna, and then let's just go for it.
My name's Larry Felton. I'm working with a group trying to establish an early education district for St. Louis County. And my favorite song is probably Born to Be Wild.
my name is Donna Gibbons with Parents as Teachers National Center, Show Me Strong Families. My song, I guess, would be This Girl is on Fire.
Samantha March from the St. Louis Pre-K Cooperative, and my song would be You Can't Break My Soul by Beyonce.
Hey, I'm Aubrey Schmoll from St. Louis Public Schools. I'm the early learning manager, and I am here in place of Miss Linda Smith this morning.
Good.
And my song would be anything by CCR.
Good morning, everyone. Lakeisha Robinson, currently serving as the Senior Advisor on Children, Youth, and Families for the mayor here in St. Louis City. And hope it's appropriate, but right now my theme song is Paint the Town Red. And I'm here for it. I actually was just listening to it. And I'm going to throw it over just because I want to slightly say hi. Hey, Tina. I'm going to throw it to Tina.
Hello. I'm trying to turn mine off. Hello, everyone. My name is Tina Mosley, and I'm with STAR. STAR stands for Staff Coaching, Training, Advocacy, and Resources for the Early Childhood Educator. And my song, it varies, is anything from Leandria Johnson. And the best one I love is called Better Days, because every day has challenges, but every day is a better day. Oh, and I am passing it on to my better half, Adrian Pennington, my co-founder with Star.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Adrian Pennington, as Jenna said, co-founder of Star. And one of my favorite songs is Grateful. Just being grateful to be here, be amongst other champions, and just to be around you all. So I'm very grateful and thank you for having me today.
Who you passing it to?
Yeah, I was gonna say, Adrian, it's hard for you to,
I can't see anybody because I'm driving, so
I'm
can't
gonna
pass it
throw
to
it to
nobody.
Laura Pollock.
Hi, my name is Laura. I'm the Early Literacy Coordinator with St. Louis County Library, and my brain fails at Icebreaker, so I can't think of a song right now, but I did have very much fun singing We Don't Talk About Bruno with a 2-year-old this morning. And I will pass it to, how about Lisa Shear?
Hi, I am Lisa Shear. I'm a director at Baden Christian Child Care Center. I facilitate with STAR. And my favorite song, oh my gosh, I like, there's a lot, maybe Can't Stop That Feeling. I like some JT, but yeah, I will pass it over to my friend Paula Vickers. Also, you're my friend LaDonna, but I just saw her first.
Hey y'all, this is Paula Vickers with We Power. I cannot think of a favorite song right now. Honestly, I think it's probably Beyonce Flawless. I was trying to think of the messaging of the song before I said that out loud, but that's my song. And I'm gonna I'll pass it to LaDonna Ellis.
Hey, how's it going? I just got here. Am I doing name and favorite song? Is that what I'm doing? So LaDonna Ellis from Gateway Early Childhood Alliance. So it just depends on where I'm at, depending on the favorite song. So these days, Praise by Elevation Church is rocking in my house these days. I don't know who is here. Tina, did you go?
Yeah.
So
Yes.
Lisa, why don't you pick somebody since I just got here for me?
And I just thought of a theme song for me, by the way. Lisa Greening, Turn the Page STL. The Chicks, I Need a Texas Man. That is my theme song right now. I will take it. I need a Texas man.
You're not supposed to sing it.
Oh, okay, right. That's really bad. Joanne, how about Joanne?
Hi, I'm Joanne Suda. I am on the School Board in University City. I am a governing council member for Special School District of St. Louis County, and I am with the Early Education District Coalition working on public pre-K for St. Louis County. And my song, I just saw the documentary, is We Are the World. That's my song of the moment. And I'm going to pass it to Stacy.
Hi, I'm Stacy Sarton. I'm with United for Children. I'm the community leader coordinator. I'm bad at icebreakers too. I just love music in general, and it is on in my house all the time, like it's in the background. I prefer country music, but that's all I got right now. So Apurva, I'll pass it to you.
Good afternoon. I'm Apurva Sundar. I am a program coordinator in the outreach section of the Office of Childhood. I work with Stacy and United for Children on the resource and referral contract and community leader work. And I also work with Parent Advisory Council work, a couple other projects, Missouri Family Resources that Christy spoke with you about last month, she said. And my theme song, probably Home, Philip Phillips.
Christy, who is left? Just come off mute.
I'll go. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
And then Stephanie.
My name is Alyssa Chandler. I work for Lutheran Family and Children Services. I am the program supervisor at their daycare center. I'm Stephanie Rose. I'm with the Urban League Early Head Start, and I oversee our Head Start education. I don't really have a favorite song. I just have favorite artists who sings a lot of songs I like Whitney Houston, Michael Jackson, Usher, all those people. So.
I'm Becky Strickfadden. I'm with United for Children, and I am an inclusion specialist there. And I think through I'm kind of the same way. I've got a lot of different tastes, but the song that came to my mind the first is just because of all the changes we've got going on personally and at work, is If You're Going Through Hell. And so for people that are country song people, that was mine. And I don't think Howard's also gone yet. Have you? I'm going to throw it to Howard, actually.
I have not. Thank you, Becky. Thank you. Yes, I'm Howard Smith. I am with St. Louis Area First Steps and also a board member with MOAIM, with the Missouri Association for Infant and Childhood Mental Health. And my theme song, it kind of varies, but right now I'm feeling like Let's Go Crazy by Prince. That's kind of the way things are going right now. So that's my song. And I'm not sure who has not gone yet. So whoever.
My name's I'm sorry. I was on a call. I'm sorry. My name's Leticia Williams. I work with Lutheran Family and Children's Services. I am the program manager for our home visitation program. And I don't have a favorite song. And I apologize. And I'm on these meetings, and then I have a standard meeting that I have to be in at 1 o'clock. So I'm only able to be on here 30 minutes. So I do apologize, but I am trying. Just to let you know. Sorry.
You're doing great. Thank you for being here.
We're glad you come.
Hi, my name is Stacey Sturdivant. I'm the director. Sorry, Sarah. I'm the director of Early Childhood with Special School District. And I have 2 songs that I play when I need to get myself ready for the day sometimes, not every day. And so sometimes I'll play Ain't Nothing Gonna Break My Stride, and then I will play The Ordinary Just Won't Do by Commission.
And I'm Kristen Clemens, the Director of Early Childhood for the Brentwood School District, and also the President of the Missouri Subdivision for Early Childhood through the Council for Exceptional Children. And my song would be anything that Bob and Larry sing from VeggieTales, because they are just too good to be true, and silly songs are the way to be.
Hi, I'm Sarah Kennedy. I'm with MU Extension. And my song that I really like is Shut Up and Dance.
I'm Amanda Linsky with Impact. And I don't know my song. I think the new what I liked was listening to this morning, the Pitbull Dolly Parton remix of 9 to 5. That got me up and going this morning.
Ooh, I've not heard that.
Larry?
I think Larry went.
Oh, Larry went. Okay, I'm sorry.
Anybody else? Did we miss anybody?
All right.
Say hi. I'm Kate Hannon, Bell Children's. Sorry, I was having trouble getting on. Bell Children's Services, St. Louis Arc. And if we're talking favorite song, right now my favorite is Flowers, Miley Cyrus.
Excellent. Did we get everyone? If we didn't,
I think so.
I apologize, but good to meet everybody. And just welcome. If this is your first meeting, welcome. And since our last meeting, which we have, this occurs on the 3rd Wednesday of the month, 12:30. We have been really busy refining our roster and contacting people that may have been on the old list, maybe we didn't hear from, and we just wanted to make sure that they still wanted to be part of this group, and most do. So just thank you all for just continuing to show up to move this work forward. Our purpose, or the meat of today's meeting, is going to be present for you the survey responses we took time on our last meeting to fill out together. So here's the agenda. We've already done our welcome and introductions, and then Leah's going to take us through just some history, review our goal as a task force and our alignment with Office of Childhood's goals. Then Lisa's going to take us through the survey results. We're going to maybe propose some next steps based on those results. And then we have a few other just announcements that we want to go through before we leave today. So I am going to go ahead and have Leah take it next.
Thank you, Christy. So the work that we are all charged here with and brought together to do is in partnership with the Office of Childhood. And for those of you that have been on these calls that Lisa and Christy have been facilitating, or if you had participated previously in the community leader work, the mission of our work, what's bringing us all together, is that our agencies work well to prepare our children for success in school and life. So we have folks here who are representing our early childhood ecosystem. We have folks here who are supporting kids in our school districts. And really, we want our young children to be safe, healthy, and successful learners to reach their full potential. Many of us on this call are also parents. And so, you know, we show up here as professionals, but also this is personal too. I've got 2 kiddos at home. One of them is 3 months. And so we are we are very much back in the early childhood ecosystem, again, professionally and personally. And so, you know, it sounds cliche, but our children are our future, and that is the truth. And so we are working here together to have safe and healthy children that grow up to become excellent Missourians. Next slide, Christy. The work that is grounding the community leaders and the work that we are coming together to do is in alignment with Missouri's strategic plan for our early childhood system. And the goals of that strategic plan are listed here. And you will see in italics, number 3 is the work of our task force. It's really around strengthening community leadership. So the work that we will do together and have been doing together is to identify, support, and empower leaders across every part of the state. So we here are representing the St. Louis region, and we have counterparts across all the rest of the state that are leading similar work to develop plans that fit our community and that meet the needs that our community has to ensure that families with young children can access high quality programs, services, and resources in their communities. And the other goals that are listed here, there is significant work that is underway through all parts of the Office of Childhood, which many of you may also be familiar with and connected to. So our role here as community leaders, we are developing and implementing a community plan so that families who have young children can access the programs, the resources, and the services that they may need. We know that we are fortunate here in the St. Louis region, and just seeing where all of the folks on this call are coming from. There is a lot of activity, a lot of work happening in this region. And so it's so valuable when we work together and come together so that we can have the greatest impact on families. So we come together in these meetings to increase awareness of what you all are doing in your organizations, what's happening across the region, and to just better coordinate what we're doing so that families who need these services and need your resources are able to access them. We are also contributing to the statewide database and identifying local resources to make it easier for families to connect with the services that they may need, and also reducing duplication. I think when we get in a room and we start talking about who's doing what and what's happening across our region, we may find that there are services being offered by different organizations that are very similar in nature. And so if we can think about how do we best serve families and also reduce some of the redundancies by coordinating our services. An important part that we'll talk about in some of our survey results too is being able to identify the barriers that families are facing. And Lisa's going to talk through one of the most significant things that came up in our survey results. But we know that families face challenges in accessing quality childcare and accessing resources that they need to raise healthy children. And so we want to figure out and sort of dig in and understand what are those barriers and how do we move those out of the way. And then also elevating the importance of early childhood. We know that this is such a critical period of time for children in their development. And we're here. I think most if not all of us on this call recognize the how extremely important these years are for children, and having access to quality services really sets kids up to be lifelong safe, healthy, and successful learners. If you want to learn more about the community leader work, you can scan this lovely QR code here. And I will also say, if you are one who doesn't have your phone handy and don't want to scan this, you can also go on United for Children's website, and there is a lot of information. I think that's where this QR code leads back to. And the Office of Childhood also has information about the Community Leader Program on its website as well. And Christy welcomed us all into this space and said we are connecting with and reconvening folks who had been engaged in the community leader work in years prior. But the table is open. There are more seats at the table here. We are prioritizing and looking for more folks representing school districts, Head Start, and families that might be interested in participating in this work. So I think our ask today of you would be, for the next meeting, invite a buddy, think of a friend, or let us know if there is an organization you don't see represented here that you think, oh gosh, they would really benefit from convening around this table. Let us know, and we would be happy to reach out and make those connections. And again, our geographic area of focus is St. Louis City, St. Louis County, and St. Charles County as well. So if you know of folks who would be interested in participating, please do send the message out or let us know, and we will invite them. And I think our next slide is transitioning over to Lisa to walk us through the results of the survey.
Right, and I just want to reiterate, if you know of people in school districts, like we said, families, Head Starts, anybody else that you think this should be at this table, could be private childcare programs. Thanks, Tina. Email me, lisa.greening@turnthepagesTL.org, and we will get them on. I'll have a brief meeting with them, and we'll get them on the roster and get them on this leadership task force. We need all voices. Our last meeting, we had a survey, and go to the next slide. And we asked for your priorities in serving families and childcare providers. And by far, and it doesn't look like that so much in this graph, but almost every person made the first priority funding. Let me say that word again, funding for families and early childhood providers, the #1 priority in the St. Louis region. The other 5 here, we will be tackling. But for right now, for our plan that we'll be writing in the next month with you, we're going to be focusing on how do we find funding and, most importantly, communicate funding, fully funding, love it, families and early childhood providers. And our first step, and many of you guys know, there's a lot of, sorry, Christy. There's a lot of fires we've been putting out for our whole lives, our whole working lives. And we're going to go through ways that we can prevent forest fires. How can we be ahead in communicating the funding that we have? And how can we be ahead of fully funding, as Samantha said, what the needs are? So next slide, sorry. We asked you, how do families, how do providers access state funding? It was really all over the place. There wasn't one place. You know, I love the honesty, the DESE website, but people don't know how to access it. That was written by somebody. The child care subsidy program, a Google form, word of mouth came up several times. Daycare centers, is that the place where families go? Yeah, it is, to find the subsidy. we need to streamline this communication process. Next slide. So this is really what we found is the biggest crux of the problem is communication barriers. And we asked you, how can we, so this is from what you wrote to us, how can we communicate between families and institutions like our Office of Childhood, our business community? How do we break down those communication barriers? And you guys can read for yourself. But yeah, offer a variety of ways. Material translations and interpreters, strong online and physical resources, utilize the community leaders' reach. Most importantly, we need to close the gap between what families want and what institutions are offering. Can I say that again? Close the gap between what families want and what institutions are offering. And you can read through several more, but how do we solve that communication glitch that the St. Louis region, unlike other regions in Missouri, seems to be a pain point? And I will just say other regions in Missouri are working on how to get childcare centers. They're trying to get, how do we get, we have a wealth of institutions here in St. Louis. We need to align and communicate. All right, next slide. This is a beautiful graphic, but you guys will see, how do you provide information to your families? Isn't it amazing how childcare centers are given that burden to do that? It's all grassroots, guys. It's grassroots. So how do we elevate what is happening, already happening? How do we elevate it so that every family is connected and every provider is connected? And back to, I'm saying, with our focus on funding. Next slide. We also said, why would we create another newsletter if there was already newsletters out there, or communication methods? You know, We Power, Kids Win, United for Children, Office of Childhood, Impact, County Library, Parents as Teachers, State, Early Childhood Providers. So with that in mind, that we as this leadership task force of 28 members, we're not recreating anything. We need to support those communication methods that are already out there and pull them together. Next slide. We also asked you, how would you use a region early childhood e-newsletter with your families? We were really thinking, and you'll see, sharing with families, incorporating it in your own, forward to the district administration to share, and lots of responses willing to forward it. That's what we need. I love the image of the girl in the web. We need to create that web. And you know what that web does? It prevents us from falling through. It prevents us from falling through, which is happening a lot here. And obviously, you guys highly preferred to add information to your current communications. So how could we, whoops, okay, I'm looking at the, we need to add that information to current communications and have a home base where you can access up-to-date, easy to read, easy to read information. And we're going to start with funding that type of information. Next slide. So I'll give it over to Christy because I think that's right?
Yeah, I was just going to summarize what you said, that the priority, kind of winning almost a third of your vote, was funding. And it's not that these other priorities aren't important. It's just only fitting that we start with a place that might cause the most confusion. It is causing the most confusion in our early childhood system, and that is funding. You know, how do we find a cohesive way to communicate funding, both for families and for childcare providers? So what we're going to do is create a time for some discussion, some dialogue, and we're going to break you out into some discussion groups. We're going to put this question in the chat as well so you can see it when you get into your group. But we'd love to understand, you know, thinking about that alignment with Office of Childhood. How do we ensure as a group, how are we going to make sure that all families with young children and the programs that serve them know where to go to access the funding needed for high quality care? So that's the question we're pitching to you to think about, to talk about in your groups for 10 minutes, and then come back and share what you came up with, and we will talk about that when we come back. Any questions about what you'll discuss in your groups? And you'll have about 3 or 4 people that you'll be meeting with. Okay, so 10 minutes for this discussion, and we'll see you back here shortly.
So this happened to me at a meeting yesterday. You will have to assign me to a room because for some reason they are not showing, the breakout rooms are not showing up for me.
Who jumped out of their breakout room because we asked them to talk in small groups. I know I'm guilty of that sometimes, so we'll see if we get everybody back here. And
can you see the whiteboard?
Yes, we can.
Okay.
Thank you, Christy. Christy's going to take some notes for us on the whiteboard. So in your groups, you were discussing how can we ensure that families with young children and the programs that serve them know where to go to access the funding that's needed for high quality care. So kind of 2 parts to this question. How do families find the funding? How do they know where to go for funding to support care for their children? And how do the programs know where to find funding? We had 6 different breakout groups, so we're going to spend the next maybe about 8 or 9 minutes. So not every group may get to share, but I will welcome anyone to jump in with some of what was being discussed in your group. And Christy's going to take some notes for us.
And I just want to make sure that everybody knows that because we only have 8, yes, feel free to share anything that you learned or discussed in the chat. That will go on the whiteboard, maybe not this in the next 10 minutes, but it will be incorporated. And also you can email us any ideas that comes to you, and everything will be incorporated on this whiteboard. So go ahead, somebody from a group. What did you discuss?
Nothing. I'm going to call out on Sarah Kennedy. Oh, Lisa, go ahead.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I'll always talk. Sorry. We talked about like just where so, you know, where do you find out about this, right? And so we just talked about follow the parents and utilize those kind of things. So, you know, you have parents in the EC setting, you have parents that go to like even like your community, you know, things, or you know, the private school or sorry, schools, those kind of things. So just you want to where they are at, that's where you're going to want to share that information, right? I don't know why I said private, but just any kind of schools, Lisa. But you know, like, you know, parents take their kids to like the rec center, right? Community rec center kind of things for swim lessons or whatever things. So if you have posters about those, this is where you find that, just kind of following the parents.
Excellent.
I added
Thank
in my my contribution to the group was to pediatricians, like to share the information with pediatricians along with the same line as Lisa said, following the parents, but also not taking marketing for granted, you know, because I'm a business owner and marketing is huge in terms of, you know, getting a message out to a target market.
Thank you.
Yeah, I thought when Bolanle said that, I thought that was just so profound, because you think about where people are looking at things, TV, movies, social media, all those different things. And, you know, within all my years of doing this, you don't really see that, you know, marketing toward like that. I remember one time when I heard a commercial on the radio for a Head Start facility, I was like, yeah, why not? You know what I'm saying? So that was just, and it was just awesome from her, from Bolanle's lens, you know, as an entrepreneur, that she's bringing that. So that, I mean, I just thought that was awesome. Like, because we don't really see that.
You're right. And we are inundated with marketing for all sorts of things. And you're right, this is not something that we often hear about. What came up in other groups?
In our group, we had Stacy from SSD, and she was explaining how a lot of parents contact them and they've been rerouted a lot because they've gotten the wrong information. And I was explaining to her a lot of times it's because they've been referred. Like, I'm a private program. I said I was with STAR, but I also own and operate my own family child care program. And so I'm in the Normandy School District. So I'll give them the number from Normandy School District. And so I'm sure a lot of the private programs do the same thing. So we're only giving them the information that we've been given. And she said, oh, okay, that explains it. So then she has to refer, like, what district do you live in? So she's having to then give parents another number to call. But as everybody knows, that's already a sensitive situation when a parent is being referred for special school district services. So we want to give parents firsthand phone numbers, you know, referrals. So we want to give them correct information. So Stacy identified that she would send out a phone list of all of the school districts to, we had Paula in our group as well, who's with PPAG, which is a parent and provider group. And she would send it to Paula, who would then get that out to parents. She would share it with parents and providers. So that list will be shared so we can see all the school districts, so we can refer out the correct information. And that would be like a support list.
That's amazing. Thanks for sharing that, Tina, because oftentimes families might be given a phone number and sent to the next agency who sends them to the next agency.
Very frustrating.
And if you've ever been that parent on the other end of that line, it's challenging because you know what you need and you need the support in navigating to find it. And that's our role here. Yeah.
Yes. And Stacy said she'll also be in charge of updating the list as numbers changed.
Yeah, keeping information current. Absolutely. Yes. What did you all discuss about how providers know where to go to find the resources within your programs? What do you need? And do you know where to get what you need?
We talked about in our group that one of the challenges we're finding is with our home-based providers and with the move the state made to the different system. A lot of our coaches were going in to support helping get those providers registered and so that they can get their subsidies. I think what would be really helpful would be to have kind of a state toolkit or state training so that we are, you know, since we are grassroots in the homes, it would be great to be able to pull out that toolkit with us, bring our computers and help on the spot. There's other things that we're doing in our coaching visit, but those were the most pressing for this past couple months.
Thanks for sharing that, Amy. Yeah, and different providers may need to access information in different ways. And there's different information that different sizes of centers and different providers will need. What else came up? We had a couple things in the chat. One group talked about job placement places, Job Corps, vocational rehab programs for families who are trying to get into the workforce, but they don't know what to do with their children when they go to work. Yeah, if you're going to start a job and are preparing to train for a vocation and you have children, you need to know where your kids can go, since they likely can't come with you to work. We had a mention of TikTok. So social media is also a place where we know families are getting information.
And also partnering with all of the parents as teachers programs. I mean, that's right in the home. Just making sure that, you know, if we're going to create some kind of toolkit, making sure that parent educators also have all of that information so they can connect families that way.
Absolutely.
We talked some about challenges that families have, even if they know like that they need to go to a state website to find this information, actually getting to the information. One person talked about how they at their center have created QR codes that link to exactly the place where a person needs to go to like apply for a subsidy, so that their families don't have to be digging through websites to find information. And so we were talking about ways to make that information that is out there already, like in a easily digestible format for a family who has no way of knowing what all of these things mean, like whether it's an infographic that guides them through certain things, or and then has those QR codes or links to just what they need, because maybe we've got so much information on there that it's just overwhelming for them to try to figure out.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, being able to navigate through websites is extremely challenging. Lisa and I were talking about this recently. And if we think about literacy levels of some folks, it might be really difficult, if not impossible, to navigate through a website. So having QR codes, having bite-sized pieces of information for the things that families directly need. Great idea. I see another Carrie. Hi, Carrie. Didn't see you yet on this meeting, mentioning the statewide collective impact home visiting collaboratives. Excellent. Well, as you continue to think about this through the rest of your day and through the rest of our meeting, if you have other ideas or things that your group discussed that you don't see up on this list here, please feel free to drop that into the chat. And also, you are more than welcome to follow up with us after the meeting. Lisa, I don't know, you mentioned your email earlier, but if you want to drop that in the chat, so folks have that handy, you can email Lisa with some of those other ideas. Thank you all so much for your thoughtful discussion on this. And I think
that's my slide.
Your slide, Lisa. Yeah, I'll turn it back to you.
So some of our ideas after looking at the survey results were communication ideas around funding, and basically creating a monthly one-pager on current and relevant funding for both families and providers. So having most people seemed to say that they found funding using Google. So how do we create a website, a place that that part about multiple ways. Okay. How do we get Google Analytics so that when you type in childcare and you're geographically based in St. Louis, that simple QR code for the subsidy that we're referring to is right there and then. We will be, before our next meeting, we will have a Facebook page. There is so much information flying around. It's not going to be perfect at the beginning, but it'll be one place where we can all share information. And as we work through this, we'll make it a much cleaner place. And then sending this one pager to you to disseminate to put on all of your communications. This is just us. You guys are the boots on the ground, and we just want to make simplified information so that fires don't happen. We're also talking about a space on the United for Children's website, and something that I'm adamant about is before we finish this plan, this communication plan on how to communicate funding to providers and families, I'm going to be working with you all to host a few focus groups so that we can spend some people time together with families and providers and really get to the heart of it with a dinner or, you know, a togetherness. So next slide. I know I'm running out of time.
Yeah. So in the survey, we asked you all, where do families with young children spend their time? And these were the answers that you provided with us. And so important discussion earlier, follow the families. If there are other places where you know families that your organization serves are connecting, please feel free to share that with us as well. We have some lovely postcards that we can make available to you if you would like to distribute these. This is what the front of the postcard looks like, and this is the back side of the postcard. United for Children's Resource and Referral Network helps families connect with a range of services. So if you have events, if you have ideas for us about where we can get these distributed in the community, please do drop us a note in the chat or send us an email. You can email Lisa. We are happy to get these resources to you. We have some efforts in the works with the St. Louis Area Diaper Bank to help get these out to some of the city and county library branches, but we are happy to make these available to you as well. So that's what these postcards look like. Go on to the next slide. I'm going to turn this over very quickly to Apurva to give us just a quick overview. I know we talked about this in a prior meeting, but how to access the Missouri Family Resources website. Apurva, can you share a little bit more with us?
Sure. So sorry, I'm going to make sure I get clear what you're asking of me. Now, Christy and Lisa had talked about maybe talking about how to claim a listing. Is that correct? Is that what you guys are looking at?
Yeah, did you want me to stop sharing so you can share, Apurva, or is it enough just to talk through?
I am just pulling one up so I can
so
here we
on
go.
the
Okay, I
last
can
meeting, okay,
sure,
please
go
stop
ahead,
sharing.
sorry.
Yeah, on the last meeting, I took them through the database, but there was one other thing that you were kind of asking folks to do as far as stewarding their organization.
Right. And so this is, oh, I should probably go back one screen. Here we go. Essentially, I think what I need to probably clarify with Missouri Family Resources is we're looking only to establish a resource database, right? So the wider Find Help database is available to make referrals through, but Missouri Family Resources is only for finding resource listings. And so when you do a search, and so I just did a search
Go
of
up to
food
the
pantries.
top, Apurva. Go up to the top. Yes, so people know that all the resources here that you can
Yes.
find.
And so I did a search of food pantries in the Jefferson City area. I put my zip code in because that's the one I'm most familiar with. And then if you click on a particular resource, right, you go to food pantry, Salvation Army, this is where you see work here, manage your listings. And so if you want to click on that and take ownership of a particular listing, you're welcome to do so. We encourage that. But really, as far as Missouri Family Resources is concerned, since we're not doing referrals, the biggest piece here is that your resource listing will be most up to date because you will be in charge of it. And so I'm going to use the example of Catholic Charities here in Jefferson City. The lady looked the director looked in, couldn't find her food pantry, so she submitted an entry for the food pantry, which was added like 3 days later, and then she's taken ownership of it. And so now she's able to see whether all of Catholic Charities services are listed within Missouri Family Resources, and she's able to start submitting those and keeping them updated. So the biggest benefit to claiming a listing on Missouri Family Resources is really just that it will be updated in real time because you will be in charge. You will get emails periodically from Missouri Family Resources urging you to update if you haven't. But that's really the biggest piece. There are further analytics and stuff. If you see here, screen applicants, personalized analytics, that kind of stuff comes into play if we were doing referrals. But since we're not, it's basically just to keep things updated.
Thanks, Apurva.
Sure.
All right, and we just have a couple commercial slides and then we will be done for the day. Lisa?
Oh, fun. I will send this out to everybody on this team. But as the Campaign for Grade Level Reading chapter here in St. Louis, if you're interested, these are always phenomenal. With the Deputy Assistant Secretary, Swadia Darker, is going to talk about transforming kindergarten, which many of you know is a transition, a difficult transition for many of our children.
And then I had a slide, and this is the reason why we need a Facebook page, because we are getting lots of things we want you to know about. But MOSICA, the project that Leah and I support, it's Missouri supporting early childhood administrators in the state. The trainings are set up for 2024 in academies, so they will be having fewer trainings, but they will be 2-day trainings provided to early childhood leaders. The administrators get a stipend for attending, and then because it's a 2-day academy, it will also include a hotel overnight stay. So just letting you all know they can go to mosica.com to get more information if they're not in the MOSICA network, but they will find all the academies coming to St. Louis. This is the next one coming March 22nd and 23rd. Just wanted to get that information out to you as quickly as possible because that's coming up really quickly. So next meeting will be Wednesday, March 20th at 12:30. We're going to get all this information together into some goals, including a communication plan, and then vote on what do we want to do? What's our action steps beginning in April? We want to get started as soon as possible, and then be looking for, like Lisa suggested, we'll share with you our launching of a Facebook page so that we can get all this great information out and we can be communicating with each other between these meetings. So thank you all so much for staying 5 minutes later than 1:30. And if you want, we'll stay on, right, Lisa, if you want to stick around and you have any questions. But I hope everybody has a great day. Thanks for coming.
Thank you very much. You all have a great day too.
Keep communicating.
Thank you.
I will just say I'm going to thank everybody via an email.